Hello champs, how are we doing? Okay, work-life balance and stress. As mentioned before, work is one of the biggest reasons why people are stressed in the first place. Well, you can use all the methods mentioned, from improving your sleep to journaling to meditation. We're giving you more specific advice when dealing with burnout and remote work. So, how to avoid burnout? I think this is really important and often missed. Like burnout is defined as chronic physical and emotional exhaustion, often due to long-term exposure to high stress levels. So remember, you have acute and chronic. Acute is actually beneficial. Chronic is harmful, and it can lead to reduced productivity, feelings of detachment, and a lack of enthusiasm for work and personal pursuits. So when you are burnt out, you can experience things like persistent fatigue. Take that back a little bit, and headaches, muscle tension, weakened immune system. Emotionally, burnout may present feelings of depression as well, anxiety, irritability, or a loss of interest in activities that you once enjoyed before. Um, Also, you may struggle with focus, see an increase in procrastination, and even withdraw from social interactions. It's important to notice these signs, and also what this can lead to again is emotional eating. So it's important to recognise the early signs here. So you need to take proactive steps to address underlying causes and prevent further negative effects happening. So to avoid burnout, it's crucial to set boundaries. You'll hear me talking about this a lot. Setting boundaries. You need to protect your own mental and well-being. Really important. And this boundaries can be with your work and your personal life. And stop being a people pleaser, please, guys. I see this so many times. And this means that you might have to set specific work hours, disconnect from work-related technology during non-work hours, and communicate your boundaries with your colleagues and supervisors. So a bit of putting your foot down here and setting boundaries. It's really important. Obviously, when I'm saying don't be a people pleaser, I'm not meaning saying no to everything. It's going to cause conflict. Obviously, we can chat about how we tackle that, but I don't want you saying yes to something that personally inside you don't want to do, but you're only doing it just to keep the other person happy. Okay, and so just bear that in mind, because remember, this is impacting your health. Okay, so make sure you include things that you love in your everyday life. This is so important, so important. And remember, we've only got one life, and as I say, I call the body a vessel. You only got one vessel, so it's up to you to look after yourself. And if you look after yourself and you look after others around you, as I say, it's like we're a mum or a dad now. We're parents. We've got responsibilities, so we need to look after ourselves to look after others. And maybe going a little bit deep here, but you know how, say for example, you're on a flight and they talk about if there's an emergency and this is how you use your oxygen mask. What did they tell you to do? They tell you to put the oxygen mask on for yourself, so then if you've got responsibilities, you can then take care of that. Okay, does that make sense? So anyway, diving back into what we're talking about. So yes, make sure you're doing things that you love every day, and that might involve regular exercise, hobbies, spending time with your loved ones, or practicing relaxation techniques such as meditation or deep breathing exercises. And yes, learning how to say no. This is one of the most important things, and when it comes to avoiding burnout, you need to manage your workload, and that won't be possible if you keep accepting additional work and responsibilities. Time management skills, that's what we're all about here as well. I'm going to help you with this. And yeah, time management skills are also important to help you maintain a healthy work-life balance. Don't need to say no like that, but I think you get the point. So methods like breaking tasks into smaller steps, setting deadlines. I would say let's come on a little bit. Yep, there we go. So breaking tasks into smaller steps, setting deadlines, and using tools like calendars and to-do lists can help you stay organised and focused and complete your tasks. So anyone that's not seen my office, I have got three whiteboards and a big whiteboard behind me, and also use Google Calendar and also use a phone for alarms to keep myself organised and top of things. Organisation is so important, and it's another tool that I use and I recommend you using to reduce your stress as well. Organisation helps reduce stress massively. Okay. Yeah, and like you can also talk to your boss about working remotely or having flexible hours on certain days of the week, although it might not be possible for a lot of people. But as it's honest, it's worth a shot. Um, the way things are moving now, there's quite a lot of online opportunities, and you know, I don't want you to take this the way that I'm asking you to change your job in any respect. But what I'm saying is, if you find your job really stressful, you speak to your manager about it, and there's nothing they can do about it. Look elsewhere. You know, I'd recommend you even look at online work. If you can do that and do the same thing, put yourself first. You know, if you don't look after yourself, no one else will. So it's up to you. Okay, that's just some some advice from myself. And yeah, working remotely, it's it's become a bigger thing since the pandemic, to be honest. And I've seen a massive shift towards remote work, and it's gave employees more flexibility around their work. And I think, you know, it is a good thing. However, at the same time, it's introduced quite a lot of new stressors as well that can impact on your mental health. So, what I'm going to do, if you ever find yourself, if you do work from home and you're still feeling stress, a few tips. Let's go through a few things that will help you reduce this as well. So, I would recommend splitting your workplace from your personal space. It's probably one of the most important things to incorporate. Like this separation will help you mentally transition between work and personal life, you know, and preventing this blurring of boundaries that can contribute to stress and burnout. Also, make sure your workspace is, you know, it's comfortable. That's important. And again, it comes down to boundaries. You know, when you close the door, when you're in your study or your office or whatever, you close your door, it's business time. And when you're out, you close the door behind you, then it's personal time. You know, and keep all, if you have a personal phone or a business phone, you leave the business phone in your workplace. And also, yeah, develop like a daily routine or schedule where you include breaks, free time, everything else you need. That's personally, I use the Google Calendar for that. I set alarms. I've also got one of these, which may be helpful, the old-fashioned egg timer. I'd set myself a task, and once that drains out, I would stop, give myself a break, then go back at it. You know, it's things like this. I don't think it's healthy for you to be stuck on the screen. You need to get out and get moving and get your steps in. Get the steps in. So, so yeah, make sure you're getting free time there as well, and keep that consistent. And try having a consistent sleep schedule, just so you know, and just make sure try and stick to that as much as possible. Try and have a structure there, just to help have a bit of normality and balance in your life. And again, this will help reduce your stress. Okay, And I get it. You may be a parent, you've got kids, you're responsible, but as I says, try and look at the average of your week. How does a day of your how does average day look in your week? Now, you may say it's very sporadic, but really, if you look at the times, etc., that you may be free, you might binge watch, etc., or have done that, or snacked, that could be your meditation time. And I think meditation can either be done in the morning, could be done anytime, but for myself, I think it's really effective before I go to sleep. Meditation, and I do my journaling, then it allows me to sleep better, get everything out. I'm not worrying about things the next day in case I forget them. I write them down, empty my mind, do my meditation, and that's my wind down routine, which I can go into in more detail with you over a call. So yeah, hopefully this is helpful, guys. We're going to be looking more into, again, when I mentioned the chronic stress that happens quite often, in particular two groups of people, which is students and parents. So I'll be going over that in the next module. See you there. Thanks.